we're underway. Bly gets a poor start and is getting attacked immediately by the McLaren and Morton. And Darvel goes defensive. Rowley tries to go around the outside. And Morton tries to go down the inside of his teammate, but thinks better of it. I think he's trying to defend from Charavana, and they are battling very hard still. Darvel leads them around turn 3. Rowley gets alongside into turn 4, and they're still side by side. Rowley actually on the medium compound tyre, whereas Darvel's on the hards, and you can see that's affected him immediately as he's under threat from Charavana already, and has already lost position to Rowley. So poor start from Bly, going from P3 down to P5. Morton and Charavana both moving up positions. Actually, I think Charavana's jumped up 2 positions. Morton stayed where he is. And, oh, Charavana going for a little bit of a slide coming out turn 10 there. Got a little bit trigger happy on the throttle on the exit. I'm trying to see if anyone else has moved. P7 and P8's a pretty good battle, apparently, between Howarth and Morgan. And Howarth is moved up into P7. Takes a lot of curb there. And we may see Morgan come back at him into turn 13. Nothing going on. That's a yellow flag in Sector 2. And Corey is retired from the session. And it seems like that's a virtual safety car. That is a intelligence corps driver's had a drive-through penalty for a collision with Corey. Have to wait and see what's gone on there. But a virtual safety car is out, not a full safety car. It's interesting, got the drive-through because it does not look like he's got any sort of damage to his wing. Be interesting to see what's happened there. Oh, sorry, I was on board with the wrong driver. He's coming to the pit now. We'll see if there's a new wing going to go on. It looks like a new wing's going on. Yes, he must have taken some sort of damage. You cannot serve that drive-through under safety car conditions. But lap 1, early drama here. Currently, Rowley is our race lead, and you see a lot of the drivers opting for the medium tyre to start on. 4 of them opting for the hards, and they'll take the punishment now, but it will help them out later on in their second stint. Running less fuel in the car on a better tyre just makes you so much faster. This virtual safety car will end soon, and we are green flag racing. Rowley gets a good start, and it looks like Cavan has caught Darvel sleeping a little bit. All over the back of him. But the UOTC in both his Alfa Romeos looking beautiful in P2 and P4. It's going to be good points for them. As their closest rivals, the RLC, are in P11 and P18. It's not been a bad debut for the likes of Bly in P5 and Bristow in P11. Having some good driving. Morgan's getting very close to the back of Howarth. Looks like he could come back in. Rowley sets the fastest lap of the race. Quickly snatched away by Morton. And then it's just going further and further down the order. Obviously, I'm sure that will change when they have a lap that isn't under virtual safety car conditions. And that is Greeno and Vernon are having a battle. And Vernon has moved up into P9, overtaking Greeno. Further down the order, Walters is on the back of Pavey with the DRS activated. Is he going to go for the lunge? He's looking. He's looking. Space has been left. Pavey goes a bit wide, and it looks like the Alpine of Banyard is going to try and have a go at his teammate. Still thinking about it. Oh, there's been a change between Morton and Bly. It looks like Morton's had a bit of an issue, and Bly's managed to get the overtake done. So Morton down to P5, Bly recovering back up to P4. He's 2.4 seconds down on this group ahead of him. And just behind Morton is Blakey and Howarth in a very close battle. Rowley still not being able to break DRS just yet. Still carrying Darville and Charavana along. The driver is really close. Is Howarth on the back of Blakey. Battle between these 4 is very close as Rowley sets another fastest lap of the race. Any moves from these four? Does not look like there's going to be any movement this time. But it's only a matter of time before we see them start to attack each other. Our gonna go for the move on Blakey into turn 1. He stays ahead still. Watch this from Morgan's point of view. Now, how can he go down the inside of turn 4 once again? That's where he was able to get the move done last time. Blakey once again taking a wider line. Needs to watch the track limits there, but manages to keep it within it. And Howarth now up into P6 with Blakey right behind. These are very close. Again, very, very hard who to pick now. Rowley and Darvel are approaching Bly, who is yet to box. He still needs to pit. And he's got to come into the box now, surely. He's going to help out Rowley by giving him DRS to defend this lap. But, you know, he still chooses to stay out. He wants to fight with these front two. Rowley just has the fastest lap of the race. He knows he's got to get a move on, as Darvel is very much in his mirrors. Back on board, and Morgan's going to go down the inside of Blakey. Blakey almost shuts the door there. Moves left, right at the last moment to avoid a collision. Howard attempting to break the toe. Blakey staying with it. Blakey goes for a late lunge. Mounts the curb. And Morgan get a cutback done here. Engages the ERS. He is going to go for it into turn 4. Side by side. Morgan on the fresher compound. I don't know if he's going to get the job done on both of them. He has got the job done on Blakey. And now Howe up next. And on that softer compound, I don't see him being stopped. But I don't actually, I don't know what's happened, but Rowley's got a little bit of a gap to Darvel now, so it seems like they've both overtaken Bly. But it's cost Darvel way more time than it's cost Rowley. So Darvel's got a bit of work to do. On the softer compound, I expect him to catch back up, but in time, I'm not sure. A few battles on track right now. We go on board with Walters right as you're going for the move on Pavey. These two have been battling the whole race. Not battling for a points position, but you never know with penalties, so you've got to take any position you can. And finally, Bly has decided to box. One driver that hasn't boxed yet is Greeno, who has now done 22 laps on those hard tyres. And got Charavan fast approaching. Bly comes out a little bit behind Charavan. And with much fresher compound, would start to maybe close in. Could be on softs, to be fair. Yeah, the Bly's gone for the hard to the soft strategy. So he's got his work cut out for him. But it should be a bit of fun. Now the battle for P5 between these three drivers. Obviously, Morgan's got the 5-second penalty, so he needs to get out of Howard's DRS ASAP. So he can start building that gap, but it just doesn't look like it's going to happen. These two look like they're going to stay in this DRS train with them. Pavey and Walter switching positions again. This is the battle for P12. And Darvel just sets the fastest lap of the race. Rowley is used up all of his DRS. You can see that flashing light. And Darville very much on the hunt. He's also used up a lot of his ERS, though, as well. Reno finally boxes up to where he comes out. Possibly around where Bly is currently. Be a little bit further back. Rowley still leading this race. Has led for a majority of the race. With only 6 laps left to go. It looks like Darville could take it. Caravan has been running his own race in P3, having a blast. Not really anywhere near contention with the front two, or with the 4, 5, or 6 behind him. Who Blakey, Hal, and Morgan feel like they've been battling all race. And then in P8 and P7, we've got Bly and Garino, both on the soft compound now. So you should see them start to catch up with the P4 group. Morton's had the spin, then had the collision from behind. That's left him in P9, so still in a point scoring position. Vernon in P10. He's had a good few battles. Got a bit of a gap for the moment to Schramper. We're going to try and score some points. Pavey and Walters obviously having a battle the entire race. And I assume that will continue now. In P14 and P15, a disappointing day for the Royal Logistics Corps. Obviously, Bristow on his debut, just ahead of Crosby, behind on the softer compound, so I'm not sure if any team orders will come into play here. But not running in the points, that means the UATC will extend their lead at the top of the standings. And now, Darville within 4/10 of a second of Rowley. And taking the fastest lap point. It seems Darville's all but set to take the driver's standing, the driver's championship in the next race, and that is Reno and Bly's switching position. So it looks like Reno may have had an issue there, maybe a little bit of a spin. The Bly now up to P7. Expect them to catch that group towards the end of the race, but it may be too little, too late. Maybe the hard soft actually not the ideal one. Darville looking to go for the overtake once again. Rowley doesn't even feel like taking a defensive line there. He just knows you are not close enough yet. I have got another 4 laps of battling. He needs to be careful because if he leaves it too late, those mediums are going to be absolutely dead towards the end of the race. And start coming back in the hard's favour. So that tyre advantage will be gone. And we know they both got similar pace. As Bly does the fastest lap of the race, fills that fastest lap. I don't think the top two are going to be able to take that now. They won't be able to compete with the soft runner time that Bly's just done. This battle between Blakey, Halp and Morgan still going on. As I've said the whole race and commentated on the whole race. Walters and Pavey having a nice little battle. Pavey gets back through. Walters going to go for the cutback. Gets the better exit out of turn 2. Down a little bit. Has the DRS. I don't think he's too far back to go for the move into turn 4. While these guys are battling, Bristow and Crosby are on the way. Maybe working together in a little bit of a DRS slipstream to try and catch up to these two. And if they keep battling, that's what's going to happen. As we get a move for the lead. Darville does get the move done. But Rowley has got a really strong cutback. And I wouldn't be surprised. He's got the ERS back on. He's got no DRS. It looks like they were side by side. So no DRS for Rowley. If he had the DRS, I reckon he could have got that move done. And Darville now up to P1. Rowley down to P2. But look at both of their ERSs. That red flashing light just means they're both harvesting right now. But rallying to focus, it's not over yet. There's 3 laps left to go. And with 3 DRS zones, he can stay with Darville and win this race. As a Royal Engineer, I have no bias. Come on. Back on board with our fight for P4. Obviously, Morgan's 5-second penalty will take him back into P7. The Howarth not feeling the need to get the move done. Blakey would like the 2 in front of him to start fighting, but there is no need for Howarth to do that. Further down the order, Walters and Pavey battling for that very precious P12. Bristow closing in. 2.4 seconds of gap now. It was 3 seconds before. As Blythe does another fastest lap of the race. Approaching these guys fast. Because they're not attacking each other, there's nothing they can do. Probably got very close to Darville then. But no move done. Has the DRS to stay with him. Got a 15-second gap to P3. That's how on a different level these 2 drivers have been. Field boxes probably for a set of soft to attempt. Go for a fastest lap attempt. But Morgan is now getting pulled along by the lap car of Court as well. These 3 all very close. You can see Blakey's actually got ERS stored up. Maybe go for an attack on Howarth. Howarth barely hanging on to that DRS at the moment. So maybe on the next DRS zone, you get the move done. Someone else that's also barely hanging on to DRS is Rowley. It seems like Darville has started to push. And a gap over a second now. Just barely. Fly on this charge. It's getting closer and closer. This car's getting so worn. So quickly. Rowley's been able to close the gap in a little bit more. And Blakey looking like he wants to go for the move on Howarth into the final corner. But nothing done. Two laps left to go in this race. Darville leads, followed by Rowley. Then Charavanamatu. Then Morgan with a 5-second penalty will take him back behind Howarth, Blakey, and Bly. Reno P8, Morton P10, and Vernon. Morton P9 and Vernon P10. Those will be our points scorers. All these points are crucial as well, especially for the Remy and RAC, who are fighting to not be on the bottom. Bristow does get the move done on Walters for E13. Walters looks like he's going to come back in, but Bristow has got the move done. Not been a bad debut drive. He would like to have been in the points, but it seems like he's got the pace on the guys he's next to and should be able to get the move done on Pavey very shortly. Bly has now caught up with this group on the second to last lap. So Morgan's actually pushing now. Morgan has extended that gap. So when I said he had the 5-second penalty, he is absolutely smashing it. Probably about to go for a fastest lap attempt. He must have been saving up ERS for so long. Doesn't get it, but the gap is absolutely massive now. 3.8 seconds. And you got to feel like Blakey's got to go for a move on Howarth now. Bly's looking. Maybe to go for the cutback on Blakey. Should have superior traction. Rowley is getting close, but not close enough to Darville. It looks like Darville is going to win this race. But we need to stay on board with this battle, as Bly is looking to at least take one of these two in the final final corners of this lap. Schrampers made it past Greeno. Looks like Greeno's had an issue. And that's crucial for Schrampers to go into P10. And Blythe's going to go down the inside of turn 10. Quite some move. Very similar to what Alonso did. Blakey keeps it stuck around the outside of turn 10. And Darvel comes across the line to win this race, followed by Rowley. Charavana is going to come across the line in P3. I've got to go back on board with this fight for P6, as Blakey is so close to Howarth. Doesn't seem like anyone is going to move positions here. Back on board with P3. Charavana Montu in P3. Another podium for himself. Unserved 5-second time penalty. Morgan puts him behind Howarth, Blakey, and Bly, who takes a fastest lap point. Morton's going to come across the line in P8. And after the race he's had, I think he'll be happy with that. 4 points for the UOTC. And then in P9, it is Vernon. And then in P10, the only AMS driver to score points today is Stramper, taking our final point scoring position. Looks like Walton's going for a late move there on Bristow into the final corner of the race. And that is Pavey P12, P11, Bristow P12, Walton's P13, and Crosby P14. Those guys are all very close to each other. Now just waiting for Greeno to come across the line, and he's yeah, not happy. He had a relatively decent race, and then towards the last few corners, well, last few corners, about halfway through the race, on the soft stint, and just didn't go to plan for him. But Darvel takes another race win after an impressive last time out. Does it from first on the grid this time. But I tell you what, Rowley definitely made him work for it. This was not a walk in the park.